structured practice as well. In descriptive essays, we have to paint a picture with the words. So we have to create a spell or magic with the help of words. Words are our most inexhaustible source of magic. So the magic of words will never end. Now, look at this description. The description here tells us not only about the sunset but also tells us about the feelings of a character, that what the character in the story or in the description was feeling about this particular sunset. So writer could have simply said as well that he watched the sunset, but he has written a full descriptive sentence. Let's read it. He watched the sunset at the horizon, spreading its largest into a grateful sky. Largest means gift. So sun was spreading its rays and beauty like a gift into the sky, and the sky was also grateful that sun was bestowing some gifts to it. Rich hues of red blended with oranges, purples, crimsons. So now you see clear description of all the colors so that reader can well imagine what sort of sunset it was. Now the description does not end here. See the next sentence. In the next sentence, the writer is actually telling us about the feelings of the character. Bob's spirit soared at the sight as he was transported into a timeless existence. Now, this particular character of Bob, he felt quite optimistic by looking at this scene. He was ready for the protective blanket of night and new dreams. Now, this night and evening is not creating a gloomy feeling in him, is not creating a sad or gloomy feeling. Rather, it is creating in him a protective, an optimistic, a hopeful feeling where writer can have new dreams for his life, for his passion. Now, in this particular lecture, we are going to see some sample descriptions. We will learn writing essays on place and characters with activities, and we will see what are some of the adjectives, sensory words and prepositions which can be used in descriptive essays. Now here is a sample. This sample is written by Arundhati Roy in The God of Small Things. Now let's read it. May in Eminem is a hot brooding month. The days are long and humid. The river shrinks and black crows gorge on bright mangoes in still dust green trees. Now you see that it is not simply said that May is a hot month. The whole picture has been given that it is hot brooding month, which is really giving you scorching heat. The days are long and humid, and river shrinks. So rivers are also shrinking. Their water gets dried, and black crows eat on bright mangoes, and the trees are still. So there is no air blowing, and the trees are still, and they are dust green. They are not very bright green or lush green. They are dusty green, filled with dust. So see, the description is quite clear. Now another place. Now this paragraph is taken from The Kite Runner, written by Khalid Hosseini, and the description is of Afghanistan. Now look at it. But I remember it was a scorching summer day, and I was driving up a rutted dirt road, nothing on either side but sun-baked bushes. Now you see, it was so hot that bushes were dry, and the author has used the word sun-baked for it. Sun-baked bushes, gnarled spiny tree trunks, and dried grass like pale straw. I passed a dead donkey rotting on the side of the road, and then I turned a corner, and right in the middle of that barren land I saw a cluster of mud houses. Now there were some houses, there was a group of houses. Beyond them nothing but broad sky and mountains like jagged teeth. Now, jagged teeth means uneven teeth. Now, there were mountains which were not in symmetry, rather, they were uneven, presenting an uneven picture. So now you see that writer has given you the picture of summer day where there were bushes which were dried, grass was dried and pale, and you also saw a dead body of the donkey. He has given you a clear picture of a barren land, and you see mud houses. So adjectives have been used. Now we will see two examples, two samples of characters. These also have been taken from the real novels. So now it is a novel written by Lord of the Flies, and the author is William Golding. Now see here, inside the floating clock he was tall. Now clock means some sort of dress. Floating means which is very loose. So it means somebody who is very thin and very skinny is wearing a dress, and it was float like a floating clock. So inside the floating clock he was tall, thin and bony. So it is about some boy who was very tall and thin and skinny and bony, and his hair was red beneath the black cap. So he was wearing a black cap, and now here his hair was red. So the description of the red is given, the color of the hair is given, but again at the same time the hair are visible beneath the cap. His face was crumpled and freckled. So his face was having wrinkles and spots and ugly without silliness. And he seemed very ugly and without silliness. So there was no silliness on the face. You can see the description is good and it enables us to imagine something. Now, another character. Now it's taken from another essay by A.S. Bide. The essay's Possession. He was a compact, clear-cut man with precise features, a lot of very soft black hair, and thoughtful dark brown eyes. He had a look of weariness which could change when he felt relaxed or happy, which was not often in these difficult days, into a smile of amused friendliness and pleasure which aroused feelings of warmth. So now you see the appearance has been mixed with, so writer has associated his feelings with the description as well, that how did he feel when he looked at that man. So this is how we have to try to write good descriptions. Now all of a sudden we won't be able to write these much good descriptions. These descriptions which I just read here, these are by celebrated authors, by well-known authors. So we have to try to write descriptions which are at least trying to paint a clear picture in front of our reader. It is said that description begins in writer's imagination, but it will end in the reader's imagination. So we have to imagine a lot of things while writing descriptive paragraphs. So it explains how someone or something looks like while using adjectives. Now adjectives tell us how things look, feel, taste, sound or smell. So adjectives can actually appeal to our sensory to our senses. Adjectives also describe how you feel about something. Now look at this. There are some adjectives. These are very simple words, not very not rich in vocabulary, but these can help us create a good description. So here are some adjectives which you can use for shape and size, some adjectives which you can use for atmosphere, how you feel, and you can also use for appearance. So the point is that when we are writing a descriptive essay or a descriptive paragraph, we should think about all these things: shapes and sizes, atmosphere, how do we feel about a certain thing, person or event, and the appearances as well. Now when we have to write the description of a place, we should answer at least the following question: where is the place? How big is it? How warm or cold is the place? How does the place make you feel and why? What things could you see? Can you see in this place? What colors do you see? So we at least should try to cover these questions. You can obviously include some other details as well, but at least including these details will make your essay more descriptive. Now look at this picture. It is of Niagara Falls, and these are we are going to read a paragraph about this, which is which has been taken from a travel brochure. Now you have to read this paragraph, and you have to encircle the adjectives. So you have some 2 minutes to read this paragraph. Now, I hope you guys would have finished reading of this travel brochure. Now, let's see let's look at the answers. And Niagara Falls, a popular destination. You see, so many adjectives are highlighted here. A popular destination for thousands of visitors each year. Is a beautiful place. When you stand at the edge and look down at the 188 feet of white waterfalls, you feel amazed at the power of nature. The tree lined river that leads into the falls is fast moving, pouring over the edge of the falls and crashing to the bottom. You see, crashing is a word which is actually giving you some feeling that the falls are actually going down with power, crashing to the bottom in a loud roar. Now you see, the word roar is actually also giving the animate characteristics, the human or the animate characteristics, in fact, to the falls. If you want to experience the falls close up, go for a boat ride. You will come near to look up at the roaring streams. Now again, and another living characteristic has been given to streams. Roaring streams of water flowing over the edge, and feel the cool mist that rises as the water hits. Now again, see, the water hits the rocks below. Seeing Niagara Falls is an unforgettable experience. Now you see this adjectives which have been used here and the other words, these are not very difficult. These are simple, but these have been used to create the feeling and to make the reader experience and imagine these falls. Okay, now I'll move on. Now we can also use some prepositions to describe a place. We can use these prepositions like in front of or behind, on top of or on the bottom on the bottom of or next to or above, below, underneath, around, below, between. So we can also use these prepositions which will actually make the picture more clear, that where actually is something, whether it is in front of the door or whether it is lying between the chairs or whether it is in the middle of the bed, where actually it is. Now we will look at this another sample paragraph. Here it is, my favorite place is a small cafe down the street from where I live. The cafe is on a small side street where as soon as you see it, you feel like going in. There are 3 windows on either side of the door, and each window has a small window box with brightly colored flowers. Now you see a clear picture has been given that each window has a small window box where there are brightly colored flowers. There is a small wooden door that opens into the cafe, and as you go in, you can see a dozen small tables around the room. Even though it isn't a big place, its size makes it very cozy and comfortable. I've always like to sit at a small table in the corner near the front windows. From here I can look at the artwork on the walls and at the pretty green plants hanging from the ceiling. With a strong cup of coffee and a good book, I feel very happy and relaxed in my favorite cafe. Now you see, the picture has been given clearly what sort of doors are there, what sort of image is it presenting, how many windows are there, what color, and what does small wooden box contain. It contains brightly colored flowers. So you could also explain this expression brightly colored flowers by giving some color adjectives over here. So the writer is feeling happy and relaxed actually. So feelings have also been told in this particular paragraph. Now you will have to practice it. Now here is a place you can see, and you know it as well. You have to tell the following question. So you have to tell where is the place, how big is it, how warm or cold is the place, how does the place make you feel, and what things you can see in this place, what colors do you see. So now you have 5 minutes to think about these questions and write at least 8 sentences about description of this place. I'm moving forward because on the next page there are some adjectives as well which you can use. Before moving on, I advise you to write these questions with you on some notepad or notebook so that you can see these questions while attempting your activity. So note down these questions, then I will move to the next slide. I hope you would have noted down. I am moving on. Now here are some adjectives as well. Adjectives are given so you can see, you can use these words to describe colors, you can use these words to describe place, size of place, how do you feel, what were your emotions about the place. So you can imagine a lot. As I already said that in a descriptive writing we can imagine a lot of things. The examiner is not going to test whether you are telling the truth or you are lying. So you can lie. You can tell us descriptions which you are imagining. So we have to see your good description, your writing capability. We have not to see whether you are lying here or you are reporting the truth. So you have uh, 5 to 10 minutes. Let's take 10 minutes to write at least 8 to 10 sentences on those questions which you noted down from the previous slide. Now I am moving on. I hope some of you would have done. Now here's another place. Now again try to answer these questions about this place. Try to be more descriptive. You guys had already noted down the questions. So here are the adjectives again. Adjectives plus the place. Try to answer those questions and try to use these adjectives to describe this place. If you feel like some words are difficult, then you can check their meaning in the dictionaries, and you should try to use these words in your essay because these will be helping you in developing your vocabulary as well, and these will obviously make your description better. While you are writing, try to think about everything. See the clouds, the grass, the trees. Try to imagine about the rooms of this university, about the stairs, about the man who is standing there. So try to imagine everything. Try to imagine the time, what time the clock is striking. So try to imagine a lot about this place. Now we will move on. Now, write, there is another activity. Write 6 sentences to describe the place where you are right now. Now, whether you are in your room, in your drawing room, or whichever place you are right now, you have to answer these questions. How big is it? How warm or cold is the place? How does the place make you feel and why? What things can you see in the place and what colors do you see? So try to write these, at least try to answer these questions, and you have to write 6 sentences, but these sentences should be very descriptive. These should not merely say that I am sitting in my room. So these should be very descriptive. You can use the descriptive words from the previous slide. So you can use descriptive words from here. And obviously you have to write about your place. You don't have to write about this place now. You have to write about your own place where you are sitting right now. But I just turned towards this slide because so that you may use adjectives from here. If you are done with the questions with this activity, then I am moving forward. Now we will see how to describe a character. How can we describe a character? When we are describing a character or people, we should tell about their personality, we should tell about their physical characteristics as well. And we can use some of the adjectives to describe their physical characteristics and their personality. While writing about the people, about the persons, we can use these questions. We can try to answer these questions. For example, who is the person? What does the person do? What does he or she look like? What does the person act? How does the person act? What is his or her personality like? How does he or she make others feel? So you can also tell about your relationship with the person. How do you know that person, his likes and dislikes, his personality traits? So all these things are going to make your paragraph more descriptive. So now we are going to read a description which has been written by a young woman about her grandmother. You have to read that paragraph and you have to try to focus on the adjectives. Now here is the paragraph. Let's read it together. When I was young, I admired my grandmother for her strength and kindness. She was not very big. In fact, she was tiny and very thin. She was strong though she lived by herself and still did a lot of the chores around her house. When I was a child, I saw her almost every day, and she and I would talk about everything. She was a very happy person and always smiling and joking, and she often made me laugh. My grandmother was also very patient and she would listen to all of my problems. She gave me very good advice whenever I needed it. I didn't need to be afraid to tell her anything because she never got annoyed with me. She just listened and tried to help. I also liked to spend time with her because she had interesting stories to tell me about her own childhood and life experiences. When I was young, my grandmother was my best friend. Now you can see the essay is simple, but at least it is giving us the telling us about the physical appearance of the grandmother. That how did she look like? She was strong. She was tiny and very thin, but she was strong, and she lived by herself, did all her household chores, and she was quite a pleasant personality, was a happy person. She used to tell jokes and she was very patient, and she used to listen to all the problems of the author. So the writer has not just said that she wasn't big, the writer has explained it further. The writer has not just said that she was very patient, she has explained it further. The writer has not just said that she was my best friend, the writer has explained it with the help of examples that she used to spend time with her. She used to tell her own, the grandmother used to tell her own childhood stories and used to share her own experiences and used to listen a lot to the child. So the author has actually tried to explain it well through examples. And now we will move on. Now in the next slides there are two images. You have to select any of the image and then you have to write 8 sentences about those images. You will have to imagine a lot to do this activity. You will have to write description of the person. For this you will have to answer who the person is, what does the person do, what does he or she look like. So read the expressions of the persons in the next pictures carefully. How does the person act? So you have to answer all these questions. So let's look at this picture, and the questions are written here. So it is one picture and this is the second picture. Whichever picture you want to do, you can go to that picture and you can just go back in the video or move it forward. So I am pausing my video at this slide. At this slide you can try to write your story on it, or if you want to write on this you can pause it here and start writing on it. Dear students, I am pausing my video here. You should pause it as well to complete your writing task, and only then you should move forward. Because if you do not try, that's a rule. If you don't practice, you won't learn. So it's very necessary that we should try to write something. There is a writer's block. There is something that when we don't feel like writing, it's called writer's block. We have to break that writer's block by writing anything that comes to our mind. You have not to worry if something does, if you don't get an idea. You just have to write whatever ideas come to your mind. You have to write. So whatever now you think about this picture, try to write. Pause the video here and try to write. Now we will move on. Uh, Now here is another story. It is also a descriptive paragraph. So once when I was 5, a snowstorm came overnight and lingered into the morning. Now I have highlighted the descriptive words which are actually making us imagine the situation, the picture in a better way. I have highlighted those words. So a snowstorm came and it lingered into the morning. So the snowstorm came at night, but it did not end. It lingered into the morning. It continued till morning. We lived on the farm then, and for some reason I cannot recall, my mother and father set out up the lane in my father's Chevrolet pickup, leaving me in the care of my grandmother. I dragged a ladder back chair to the front door and stood on it. Now you see, drag a ladder back chair. Now a chair which is having a ladder as well. And stood on it so I'd be tall enough to look up the glass. I watched the back end of the truck slide a little in the deep snow before finding purchase and going on. My father turned on the country line road and I was still watching when the truck nearly to the crossroads slid into the ditch. Now the truck was moving down. I still remember the sight of my parents walking back up the lane, heads bent against the force of the snow. Now snow was so snowfall was so high and that their heads bent against the force. It was so forceful. Mother's scarf tied beneath her chin, the skirt of her dress flapping around her legs. So you see that wind was also blowing quite fast. The bill of my father's cap dusted with snow. So the cap that father was wearing, its bill was also dusted, was covered with snow, his cheeks red from the cold. Although I didn't know, then this must have been one of the first times when I sensed that my parents lived inside imperfect bodies. Now, this expression inside imperfect bodies is also making us imagine something, that the cold that was outside was not for the normal human beings. So they were outside there, and the writer felt like the parents were actually living in extraordinary circumstances in some imperfect bodies. They had tried to move through space and failed. I didn't know, as I felt the cold they carried back into our home, that this was only one of their many rehearsals for leaving this world. So the cold was it was so cold at that night that the writer felt like the parents may die with this cold. Now I think of their footprints in the lane, proof that they once walked upon this earth, those footprints disappearing even as I celebrated my parents' return, all sign of them filling in with snow. So you can see it is actually a story, but the narration has also used many descriptive words. So the writing types actually go side by side. If you are writing a story, you cannot miss narration. And if you are writing a description, you can for sure write a description about a place, about a character, about an event. But at the same time, you can also bring in the element of story in the description as well. So now we will move on. Now look at this. This is now, I think, the last activity for you, the second last activity for you. You have to make these sentences more descriptive. These sentences are not very much descriptive. Like, look at this. My day was very busy. Now, my day was busy. What do you mean by this? My day was very busy. My busy day can be spent differently, and your busy day can be spent differently. So, I need to explain how my day was busy. So now let's look at this sentence. Due to an avalanche of work, I ate lunch at my desk today while catching up on my email. So I was so busy, and avalanche means that a lot of work had appeared suddenly that I could not take out time to have lunch at some place, and I had to eat my lunch at my desk, and while I was I was catching up my emails. Now there are some more sentences which you have to do yourself, and you have to try to make them more descriptive, like the first example sentence was made more descriptive. You have 5 minutes for this. You guys can choose any 5 sentences. Let's not do all of these. Choose any 5 sentences of your choice that you can make more descriptive. Now I am going to move on. If you are not done with this, with 5 sentences at least, you should move forward. If you can show those 5 sentences to your friends. You can show those 5 sentences to your teachers as well, whether it seem more descriptive or not. You will be able to evaluate those yourself as well. If you are able to describe this particular sentence in a better way, like he was nice, so you have to describe the expression nice. If you describe this one like I was scared, then what made you scared? So it is, so you can also evaluate your sentences as well. So you, if you feel like you are unable to do, you want to share, you can definitely share it with your teachers. Now I am going to move on. Now here is this last activity for you. Here is a sample review essay paragraph from a student outlining a menu option available at a local tea house. Identify sentences that you think could benefit from more specific and descriptive language. In this particular essay, some sentences are written well and some need to be more descriptive. Now we will read it. Another famous plate is their toast. I know that hearing the word toast doesn't sound appealing, but their toast is a one of a kind. The toast is special and unique as compared to other toast that is made at home or other restaurant. There are varieties of toast that contains different topping, goodies and fillings. This toast certainly can make an unhappy person to smile once again. The most popular one is called macaron party. Macaron party. It's a cube of toast that has ice cream topping on it, macarons on it, fruits, whipped cream, and all other sort of goodies. It makes you want to say wow, and the first sight of it makes you want to stare at the beauty of the toast. The toast gives a sweet taste, and the combination of toast, filling, macaron, and cream goes so well. One plate of these can be shared with 4 people to eat. The price for these toasts is around $8 to $10. The price for the toast seems overboard, but for this toast, it shows why it is worth the money it deserves. So here is the essay. Now, not all sentences are bad. So, for example, look at the sentence number 4, sentence 5, sentence 6, sentence 7 even, and sentence 8 even and sentence 9, these are good sentences. So you can think which other sentences you can improve. So you should try to improve those sentences, and you should do it on your notebook. Obviously you can pause the video here because it's getting longer. You can pause the video here and do the activity on your notebooks. Now in this particular slide, I have given some list of words which can help you improve your writing. These are sensory words, the words which are related to our five senses. The words related to sight are mentioned over here. The words which will appeal to the sight of the reader, which will make your expression more clear. Similarly, the words which will make sound, which will make or which will appeal to the sight of hearing of reader, for example cheering sound, hissing or creaking sound or shrilling sound or snarling. So these are adjectives for sounds. You can use these in your descriptive writings. And now here are some more adjectives. Adjectives that can be used for touching or to give you a feeling of touch, to give you a feeling of taste, or to give you a feeling of smell. So for example, you can say that the surface of the table felt dusty, or you can say the dress was silky, or the or plate was oily, or it was moist, or it was icy. You can see it is going to give us feeling of touching, or like greasy or fuzzy or sticky. These are giving you feeling of touch. Feeling of taste, it felt flavorful, it was delicious, creamy, bitter, ripe, rotten, salty, yummy, zesty, what sort of taste it had. Or smell, you can use these words like acrid. We had also used this word in our previous lecture of descriptive writing. We had also used the word of whiff in our previous lecture of writing. So you can use these words to make your descriptive essay more effective. Now here's another place, you all know this place, so try to write a description on this as well. Now